Golly, I'm just so happy to be here. Just allow me a moment to bask in your presence. And as a quick update, Harper Grace, 3 years ago, 1 day old, is about to be 3. And there's Jackson Anthony, who's 2. James Caldwell Gordon, the 5th, who is 6 months. And I don't think I can share his name, but one that is minus a month. So we're growing as this community is growing. I'm so delighted to be here. I hope everyone is enjoying their time thus far. We're 1 day down, 2 if you were smart enough to come to GEOINT Forward, 2 to go, and so many inspiring things happened yesterday. Let me give you a little bit of a recap. General Clark and Admiral Sharp each provided clear, compelling articulation of the use, value, and future of GEOINT. We all believe it, but each were able to use performance during Ukraine to show, not just tell, their stories. Each came from a different perspective, provider and consumer, practitioner and user, but each made similar points about the craft and the discipline and the community we love. First, that GEOINT is a unique enabler of mission readiness and outcome. The commercially provided data has absolutely come of age. We've seen this coming, and now it is ready, resplendent, and being provided. And it is, when combined with other sources, holds the prospect of remarkable strategic advantage for us. That one of the strategic advantages of GEOINT is the community of partners that participate in this, from industry to government and within and amongst nations. That even in this age of technology and machine envy, I just made that up, what do you think? That it's our humans that will carry us everywhere we need to go. And investment in them will never, never be out of vogue. And finally, that we still have distance to travel if we are to be what we can, which is good and bad news for all of you. You have work, and you have work to do. Yesterday, we also had a panel on diversity and equity and inclusion in our community, and it was a powerful reminder of all that we can do to lift our community to even greater heights. It was, to me, one of the most direct, insightful, compelling, powerful, hopeful discussions I have heard in a long time. Bravo to each of the speakers. I'm sure there's a video. If you didn't see it, it is must-watch TV for any leader of any set of humans in this day and age. And if you just take a stroll through the exhibit hall and take a peek in the meeting rooms, the vibrance of what we have going on here is not just the result of being so glad to be back together in person, but it is, in fact, the perfect representation of who we've become as a community. Now, Robert and Rhonda, if you'll allow me a moment of personal privilege, before I get on with my assigned role of being your Sherpa through today, and you can't do anything about it because you made the mistake of giving me the stage. I thought I'd offer just a couple of comments on the opportunity and responsibilities that this moment represents for us as a collective. The opportunities are indeed resplendent. Everyone, I mean everyone, sees where we need to go and the value of us getting there. From the value of commercially available data and services to the fusion of the same into unique products and insights, everyone has the same sight picture. I remember just a few years ago, there was a lot of question of whether we should. We all see it. Now it's a question of how in the world do we get there. The other opportunities, the capabilities in use commercially and at the disposal of the national security community are eye-watering, and even better, they're available to use and to integrate. And there's so much innovation and competition in our sector that all boats are rising just because of the competition. Even more compelling is that collaboration is happening amongst erstwhile competitors, and that's the day we win. There is phenomenal customer pull. not just because of Ukraine, but because the realities of a complex, fast-moving geopolitical world. And new mission imperatives like climate, food insecurity, pandemics, humanitarian crisis are spawning new advances every day. This is indeed a time of opportunity that we must step into. It is also a time of responsibility. The disrupted world is clamoring for clarity, wisdom, and insight that will make for decision advantage. There will be no reason that is good enough if we can't overcome self-imposed processes and mindsets that keep us from doing what we want to do. We have to find a way to beat the future to the spot. Our installed base has given us an amazing advantage. It has overcome similar moments in the past, over and over and over again. And at this moment, it can no longer be, for either government or industry, the impediment just because of the way we prefer to do things. My favorite quote right now is from an educator, and she says, "Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all can be mended, not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, a broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you." That is this community, that is who you have always been, and that's what this moment demands. So let's hear from some of the speakers. Before I get to that, I want to tell you what USGIS have in store for you today. We've got the final round of the trade craft competition later this morning here on the main stage, as well as keynotes from one of my very favorites, Dr. Stacy Dixon, the Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence, and perhaps one of the nation's greatest leaders, General Paul Nakasone of NSA and Cybercom. We have USGINS, Ron Moultrie speaking later today, and we have some panels coming up that will talk about what's a map. There are panels, there are keynotes and lightning talks in 3 of the programming rooms around the exhibit hall, as well as more USGIF working groups on the way. And while we're daring to ask questions, I'd like to ask Rhonda to return to the stage. I understand she has some question about the metaverse you want to ask. Let's see what we got.
It's my great honor to welcome Patrick Cozy, CEO of Cesium and longtime friend to USGIF. Hi, Patrick. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Rhonda, and big thanks to USGIF. We always look forward to GEOINT every year.
When I think about Patrick Cozy, I think metaverse, yet the metaverse means different things to different people. Tell me, what does it mean to you?
Well, we've seen a lot of interest in the metaverse in the last year, and I think a simple way to think about it is 3D becoming centric to computing. Think about the internet, but have it immersive and collaborative 3D. You know, we've had different media types: text, image, video. I think of 3D as the next media type. For the web, think of Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, these experiences becoming how we interact with computing.
All right, thank you. This afternoon, we'll continue our hub programming at 1 p.m. on the exhibit floor. I understand that you will be moderating an all-star panel on the Young Professionals Group, aka YPG Hub. Can you give us a preview of the discussion?
Indeed, we have a great set of panelists. They're going to be sharing perspectives from Adobe, Tracker Capital Management, and Epic Games. And we're going to start and we're going to talk about the state of the metaverse. Is it just gaming? Is it just VR? How can we use it for GEOINT? And we're going to try to separate what's hype and what's reality. We're going to look at a lot of the themes around collaboration, openness, interoperability within the metaverse. And we see the line between the digital and physical blurring, and we see geospatial playing a big role in that. And we're going to demystify all of this.
All right, thank you. So, final question. What's one place that you'd like to visit in the metaverse?
So when we think of the metaverse, it's both virtual worlds and digital twins of the real world, and it's also that over time. So the house I grew up in, My friend's grandparents owned a farm where that house was before it was built, and I'd love to travel and see that farm.
Oh, I did not expect that. All right. Well, I hope that you get to travel and see that farm. Thank you again for joining us this week. We'll see you this afternoon at the YPG Hub.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Virtual Rhonda. And thanks, Patrick Cozy, for that. For the audience, you may, as you wander around today, you will see people looking for your ideas on what the metaverse is today. So have your ideas ready and don't run away from them if they come up to talk to you, me. I'm hoping the metaverse can help me be in more than one place at the same time. And if Wisdom Patience is also available, I'll take that. I really encourage you to visit all the fantastic hubs going on. There's so much great programming going on. I'm looking forward to seeing NCT Director Christy Abasade in the government hub later on today. So don't let any opportunity pass you by. And while you're in the exhibit hall, don't forget about tracking down geocodes. When you find the 4-digit codes, you enter them into the event app, and I understand that not all the codes are physical and in the exhibit hall, so some may be found in other places as well, so get your sleuth on. We do have a pretty tough set of competitors, and the competition is now neck and neck between Paul Wade and last year's champ, Scott Kaplan. Let's see what we can do to give them a run for their money. And then last, before we get going with our program, I'd like to remind everyone today on how you submit questions for the speakers. You can either go to the Poll Everywhere website you see on the screen and enter your question, or text USGIF to 22333 and then text your question.